Hi everyone, Mary here from Mary from Ireland on YouTube. I'm here with a video today just to update you, I was going to say upload you, on the meaning of the cards for me for this week. We had on our reading for September the 2nd, we had visualize, intuition and stand firm. We also had letting go. So when I pulled the cards, I said, now this to me is what I was doing last week and what told me that I can receive what I'm asking for. But it was really all about mission. I know my path. I absolutely know my path. I went back down into 3D last week, lower than 3D, and now I'm out and through. And like the intuition and the stand firm were absolute pointers to me. Stand firm in your knowledge that you know your path. And I thought that the decisions I was making last week through this money thing were the right decisions, but they felt all wrong. They felt, I'd said I was curtailed, and I was curtailing myself. I was doing it to me. I decided to get away. I was to go to my sisters and my mother. I had a conversation with my mother yesterday, and the agenda that I thought I had with her, I had to bring her somewhere, and she's not feeling she wants to go this week or next week. So that leaves me once again free until I go back to the house by the sea. And Mary, you were making yourself tied up. You weren't letting yourself be free. You were trying to save money by going to houses with a lot of people, and that weren't good for me. Not the people, but being with the people and in the energy was just not good for me. It wasn't what I was meant to be doing. It wasn't my mission at that time. There are times when I do need to be there, but at this time it is not part of my mission. I was looking also at my credit card balance and looking negatively on my credit card. And it's not a big debt, but I had decided to close down on spending and put every penny that I could possibly manage onto the credit card to get the balance down. And that in itself curtailed me. The winter was looking so bleak. And yesterday then I decided I need to go somewhere and be alone. So no Airbnb houses where I'd have to go down to the kitchen and interact with the hostess. Perfect for perfect times, but not for now. So I booked into a small hotel in a little village for €29, and you wouldn't call it a hotel. It's a guest house really, but it's fine. It is fine. And I gathered my thoughts, I gathered my intuition, I was thinking over everything, and I was thinking over that reading. Stand firm and trust your intuition and visualize and let go of any negativity. They were the cards, and I said, well, I'm in a real negative space. And then I worked through, well, how am I here? How did I get myself here? And on the journey up to this small hotel in this small village, there's a town next door to it called Carrick-on-Shannon. Now I arrived in Carrick-on-Shannon and it was chock-a-block with cars, and there was a small roundabout, and there was the N4 going that way and the N4 going that way, and I couldn't find my road. I was looking for the R280. Couldn't find it. Went into the town, came back out of it. I had Google Maps on. It wasn't showing me how to get off that roundabout. So listen to this in regard to your life as well. I couldn't get off the roundabout, the merry-go-round. And I decided, flippin' hell, just go north. And north, of course, connection with spirit. So I headed off towards Sligo. I said, there has to be another way. I can't have to just come through this town to get where I want to go. And I headed north, and then I turned on Google Maps again and I followed that, and I got lost, and then I went down a tiny little road, and there was a tree after falling. We had a bit of a storm here on Friday night, but I had forgotten about it, and somebody was using their chainsaw to get the tree off the road, and that was fine. It took a couple of minutes and off we went. Other people had queued up as well to get through the road. Further down on, I don't know whether it was the same, it couldn't be the same road because there had been a car behind me, but maybe the car behind me had moved in to a house, maybe that was it. A flood. And I looked at this flood and I said, there's no way I'm going through that. So floods are emotions, and obviously I had done the emotions. The emotions weren't in tears or water, but they were the anger and the frustration and the not knowing and all that. But turned the car, there was a little space beside the flood where I could go in and reverse then and off again. So eventually I got here and I was going through that. What was the point of that journey? I put hours on myself and miles on myself, and I ended up 7 miles from Carrick-on-Shannon. Like, it's like the journey of life. You know, to get to where you're going, you take all these detours and these wrong roads and go through all these emotions and obstacles in your way and people coming to help you and all this. And there was that's my life all in a couple of hours. And I said, why did that happen? And I said, I brought it all on myself, what happened last week. Negativity, absolute pure negativity, and fell and thought, and money. Money was the big thing, money, and I can't. And then I came across Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now I had read that years ago, and I had gone to a talk in Dublin with his team. And I just came across him on YouTube, of course, and I was trying to apply what he was saying to my life. But the one thing that got me was, he said about entrepreneurs and people who receive a paycheck. Now, this is not true for everybody who receives a paycheck, in my opinion. But he said receiving a paycheck puts you in not thinking mode, and you're dependent on somebody else, and you're not thinking, you're not figuring out things. And an entrepreneur, he says that, like, when you hit walls like I did last week over money, I can't do this because I have my mortgage to pay. I don't know what to do. I feel stuck. How do I earn more money? And then you go stress. Whereas an entrepreneur says, how can I make this happen? So I went, how can I make this happen? And then I went over the last couple of weeks, and I had asked permission from a person to take a trip because I wanted to make sure that they would be there on the day that I would take the trip. It was going to be a 1-day trip. And I didn't want to be wasting money going on this trip if I wasn't meeting this person. But I had in the back of my mind, no trip is wasted because we're always where we're meant to be. And this particular place that I was meant to go, I have always been working there. I've been clearing energy. I've been doing my mission. And it always was shown to me when I'd come back home why I had been there and what I was clearing and all of this. But I went into the old 3D. I fell. So the permission wasn't given, nothing was given, only silence. So I said fine, and I went, grand, okay, higher self, trust that other person's higher self as well. So I'm grand. And then the money business, and I can't afford to be paying for accommodation when my house by the sea is not ready. So put myself into curtailment and non-freedom. So yesterday I broke through, and I'm taking this trip. Stand firm in your own beliefs, your own knowledge, your own path. You know what your path is. Trust your intuition. So now I'm taking the trip, and I'm taking it for 5 days, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 6 nights, but they're really only 5 full days. And I went, whoo! And the Airbnbs where I'm going are much cheaper than, it's the UK, they're much cheaper in September over there than they are here in Ireland. So I just need the flight. And I know I'll be working. And if I meet the person, I meet the person. If I don't, I don't. There are other people to meet. There are places to go. There are places to what's the word? Investigate or experience. So I'm going. And that's freedom. I was so grateful for my credit card as well. I came to this conclusion over the last couple of years, but I had forgotten. I fell again into 3D, which is okay. I was very grateful for my credit card because it has let me be where I needed to be to complete my mission. As I said, I've gone to the UK several times before, and I was on mission. And the credit card afforded me to be able to go there and do that. I would have been held up by money and just not having my hands on money. And money has come since to clear the trips. But of course other stuff came up, like the car and the service of the car and the tax of the car and the insurance of the car and all that. So, you know, I can't have all that money at my fingertips all of the time. So the credit card helps me. So gratitude, we got that in one of our readings as well. Gratitude for my credit card. And it will be cleared. And now that I've made this decision and my perspective has totally changed from where I was over the last week, I feel free again. I feel now I'm doing my mission again, and the winter looks much better than it did last week. And I'm setting up a meditation group in Enniscrone from the end of September. More than likely Monday nights, because a few people messaged me who were interested, and I asked them about what nights would suit them, and I went with the one that was similar for both, or the same for both the same night. So that was Monday night, and I will do that starting from the end of September, and I feel really good about it. Whereas last week I didn't feel good about it because it was to make money, and look how little money it'll make. Talk about negativity. And now I don't care. I'm doing it because I want to do it, and I know the people who come and I will receive great benefits from it. And I have been choosing the meditation card for weeks on end, and I knew it was telling me to do it, but I had to be in the right place to want to do it and to feel that I was doing it for the right reasons. I also took my journals down from my daughter's attic, my 10 years journals. That's going to be make up my story, my own personal story over the last 10 years. and I will be working on that over the winter too. Now that will take a while, so it will not be ready anytime soon, and a lot of people in the story will have to be ready for it to be in the public eye as well. But that will be worked on during the winter as well. And a few more little ideas as well, and I feel much better about them. So the trip and the change of perspective on money, and then at the end of all that, about 20 minutes after I had sorted all this out, Amanda Ellis put up a video. The caption was New Earth, Money and Financial Reset. Now, so I was, I suppose, clearing for the collective as well, as I do, and clearing my own poverty consciousness. Now, in this life, I've always had money. It's just when the spiritual path arrived and the whole bottom flew out of my world that the money shortage started and the money lessons. I've always had money in this life. So there we go. That's the up to date. And I think, now I don't know what caption I'm going to put on this to catch people's eyes. I'm going to choose a card now to finish this. And it's great to be back and in my positivity. So the message is trust your intuition. You know your path. Even if you don't know how to get there, you know. And freedom. Feel the freedom. Feel the best feeling thought you can feel. You know, the Abraham Hicks thing. And the path of least resistance. So here we go with one card to finish off this. What do we need to know, or what do we need to bring an ending? New beginnings, picking that card forever. Chose it again for myself this morning. Doesn't matter how long I shuffle, the card comes out. So what do we need to know to conclude this video that I've just made? And thank you all for your support and being here. I did lose a few subscribers on my Facebook page. That doesn't matter. I'm not watching that anymore. Whoever is here is meant to be here. And I thank you so much for your support, your good energy, your high vibes. And of course, I had to learn about the money. I did get maybe 2 donations, small ones. And thank you for those. And I did get reminded from a friend of mine that any €5 is better than no €5. And that was a teaching that I taught her. But it wasn't floating my boat last week. It really wasn't. And, you know, and I came across another video this morning, and the girl said, you got to feel your feelings and you got to process them and work through them. And she said, if you're not feeling gratitude on a particular day, you can't fake it. If you're not feeling grateful, you're not feeling grateful. You will be in a few days' time. So don't beat yourself up. I was beating myself up last week. Yeah, just looking out the window to see, are there any messages? Blue Way Beauty. So blue, speaking your truth, like I am now. Whoa, there's a card after falling out. Nothing really else hopping out there. I'll just pick up the card that fell. I'll choose another one after this. Meditation. So whatever meditation means for you, I couldn't really properly meditate when I got this card, but for me it's the meditation group that I'm setting up. This is a message that you need to meditate. Yoga, reflection and quietening the mind. Well, that's what I did here. I was on my own. And quietening the mind are essential for your well-being at this time. Purple, connection with your higher self. So we'll choose one more. Okay. boundaries, okay? Boundaries. It is important to set boundaries in your life. Sometimes it is hard to say no to others, but giving too much will take your energy. Okay, I'll leave that to you. I'm not going to explain what I feel. At the moment, it's my own boundaries with myself. Don't fence myself in. Freedom. And, don't stay in the box that everybody believes you should stay in. Break down those walls, and that's what it means to me now with where I am at the moment. And, breaking down, being free, thinking outside the box, walking outside the box, moving outside the box, maybe even moving outside your comfort zones. But you know what is right for you. Don't let anybody dull your sparkle, and stand firm in your own knowledge of your path. Okay? So love and light to you. Talk to you soon again. And I am available. Oh, no, I'm not. I was going to say I am available for readings, but I only have one deck with me. But if you do order readings, I will get to them at some stage. But I don't know when. There could be maybe a 3-week wait at this stage with all that's going on. So love and light to you. If you do want readings with these cards, yes, I can do that. Short ones if you want. There's a 22 one on my website. I can do it with these cards, and do a video like this if you want, or an email. Talk to you soon.